There comes a time in every individual's life when they're forced to choose between what is best and what is desired, a lot of times with these two things being in constant opposition. A time in my life when I've had to currently cross this obstacle was when I was a freshman being recruited for LSU's men's track and field team. Now, being recruited to one of the top 5 track and field schools in the nation, I knew that there were certain characteristics about myself that I'd have to change in order to be able to compete at a certain degree. Now, the first thing that I zoned on was my horrible dietary habits and my carefree eating habits. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today to commemorate the separation of me and the loss of one of the loves of my life, Taco Bell's chicken quesadillas. Now, you may be asking, what is it that can make such potentially artery-clogging delicacies so freaking delicious? Well, you see, according to Darlo Jarrows, author of the 2009 novel Kitchen Assistant: Time and Money-Saving Tips in the Kitchen, chicken quesadillas are the most popular variety of quesadillas at Taco Bell. They initially were a promotional item, but soon joined steak quesadillas on the permanent menu. With that being said, chicken quesadillas are fairly easy to make. All it takes is 100% white meat chicken, in addition to the Taco Bell signature 3-cheese blend, as well as their creamy jalapeno sauce, all smack dab in the middle of a nice flour tortilla. This tortilla is then slit and cooked onto a flat oven baked goods. Now, now you may be asking, how can such a delicious item be so freaking evil? Well, according to Paula Johansson, author of the 2008 novel Processed Foods, well embedded within these cheesy layers are 520 calories, 28 grams of fat, and 28 grams of protein. Now, this translates to more than 40% of the daily calorie count for women and 30% of the daily calorie count for men. Now, for the purpose of organization, my elegy today will focus around 3 main points. First off, professional athletes eat fast foods sparingly. Second, eating a lot of fast foods can lead to detrimental health effects. And lastly, if we are able to moderate our consumption of fast foods, we can in turn transpire these healthful habits to generations to come, ultimately creating us to be better athletes as well as healthier individuals. Now for my first point, most professional track athletes eat little to no fast foods. This is because most of their diets of professional track athletes are very strict when it comes to regulating the amount of nutrients that needs to be in the body in order for these athletes to compete to the best of their ability. Now, the recommended allowance, or RDA, for men is 15 milligrams of zinc per day, and for women 12 milligrams of zinc per day. In 2006, a study by Dr. Van Loen, dietitian at UC Berkeley, studied the effects of very low zinc diet on muscular strength. Their results concluded that this leads to the accumulation of lactic acid in muscle fibers, which can constrict muscle movement and function. This in turn disables the athletes to compete to the best of their abilities. Now, in order to be the best, you must not only train like the best, but you must also think and be smart in all of your eating habits. But athletes are not the only ones who should be concerned with what they're eating. Diets consisting of too many fatty acids are detrimental to one's health. In a May 2007 study conducted by Dr. Gary Plotnick, cardiologist at the University of Maryland Medical Center, just one high-fat meal can alter proper blood vessel functioning. Now, fatty foods are directly related to the degenerative diseases and loaded with oils, sodium, sugar, and also other harmful chemicals, which can lead to high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and as well as diabetes. This was a finding by Udo Erasmus, author of the 1986 novels Fats That Kill and Fats That Kill. Now, for my last point, adopting healthier eating habits can transpire into healthier future generations. Now, stopping cold turkey may be a task that may be a little too trivial for some, which is why eating fast foods in a slower moderation is what is strictly advised. Now, incorporating more healthful eating habits can quickly enable entire families and communities to start to adopt them as well. In due time, as more and more families implement healthier diets and exercise in their lifestyles, rates of obesity will ultimately drop. Now, my friends, let us not dwell on all the bad findings that chicken quesadillas have found, but let us focus on the three main conclusions that it has left us with. First, the significant lack of fast food in professional track athletes enables them to perform at much more sufficient levels. Second, regulating fatty food consumption is beneficial to non-athletes as well, because it helps to reduce the risk of harmful health immunity syndromes. And lastly, as more and more households start to eat healthy, a ripple effect can ultimately occur, making health a more global factor. Now, my friends, as we depart of this ceremony between me and chicken quesadillas, I just leave us with this one last thought. Let us not cry because it's over, but rather let us smile because it happened. Thank you.